Hands are being thrown. There's no room for this in the sport. There's no room for Davis brothers to be in the building tonight. The police escorted them out. You saw Stroller being
Joseph prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting.
Hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on like that. He can punch.
Tensions flared backstage as Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach came face-to-face ahead of their anticipated rematch. While Davis tried to provoke him, Roach stayed composed, refusing to be drawn into mind games. Focused solely on the fight, Roach believes the performance will do the talking, and he's confident in victory.
Outside critics, I know what I could do in the ring, and that's the only thing that matters, honestly, is that I go out and give it my all, perform, and most likely, 9 times out of 10 when I do that, I'll be victorious.
Lamont Roach has confidently rejected the idea that Gervonta Davis is the hardest-hitting opponent he's faced. According to Roach, he's taken stronger shots in previous fights and remains unfazed by Davis's power. His composed attitude reflects a battle-tested mindset grounded in experience and resilience, proving he won't be shaken by reputation alone.
The hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hand, bro. How'd I do that? He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He hard hitting.
In their first encounter, a brief lapse from Gervonta Davis led him to take a knee, igniting instant chaos and altering public perception. Lamont Roach's performance in that moment elevated his reputation, marking him as the first to truly challenge Davis. That sequence has since fueled growing belief that Roach could take control in the rematch, now seen as a legitimate threat.
Tank did that, so I know the got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He get a little distracted in the fight.
That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he said, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids, and I had the same thing. I went through the same shit. When I fought Andre, that shit burned my eye, so I cut that shit.
Recent footage shows a transformed Gervonta Davis. Physically sharper and mentally locked in, his improved strength and confident online message signal a renewed focus and determination to dominate. Fans are taking notice, energized by his intense preparation, and now anticipating a fierce and potentially explosive comeback when he returns to the ring. Roy Jones Jr. praised Gervonta Davis's explosive style, emphasizing his ability to blend power with precision to overwhelm opponents. While acknowledging the match's unpredictability, Jones expressed confidence that Davis's commanding ring presence will be the deciding factor. He believes Tank will once again assert his dominance and come out on top.
Saturday night, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach. What are we expecting from this fight?
Well, we expect Gervonta just to continue to show us his dominance and show us who he really is. It's really a coming out party for Roach because we haven't seen him a lot. So he gets to show people what he has too. And usually we get two guys who are boxers and amateurs, so he brings a good fight the first 2 rounds. And then in the pro round, so we'll find out has Roach adjusted to being a pro yet, or it takes to superiorize himself. That's where the difference will come in. You got a good back foot game like that, you understand boxing like you understand, he gonna make a draw for anybody. But Tank is a different animal too. So it's a great fight, that's why everybody wanna see. You can't just look at it and say, oh, he gonna win all.
Many believe Gervonta Davis was not at his best in the first fight, possibly due to personal distractions or a flawed strategy. Now, with his pride at stake, Davis seems determined to prove his true capabilities. His intense training and focused mindset showed his rematch is about more than revenge. It's about reclaiming dominance and silencing doubt.
Breaking news, Tank Davis vs. Lamont Roach 2 is set for August 16th in Las Vegas. And this is a rematch of one of the most controversial fights in recent memory. Roach arguably won 7 to 8 rounds in that fight, and then Tank took a voluntary knee in round 9, which was ruled a knockdown. Ultimately, he was scored a majority draw. Now in the rematch, I do expect Tank to look much better than he did in the first fight. I don't think that was his best performance by any means. And that means being more active in the early rounds, not just staying on the ropes looking for counters. And I'm sure he'll be willing to exchange more with Roach this time around. The left hands, the combinations, the body shots, that's where he had the most success in the first fight. And Roach, he just needs to stick to what made him so successful in the first fight. His forward pressure, staying behind that jab and right hand. But most importantly, he wasn't scared to take it in Tank, but he also didn't get too aggressive. Most of Tank's opponents, if they're scared of the power, they'll sit back on the ropes, get slowly broken down, or if they end up getting too aggressive, they get caught with the counterpunch. But Roach, he was sharp that whole fight. I would go Tank in the rematch. I think he has a lot more to show this time around. But Roach did prove to be a very tough test. But you guys let me know who you got.
Roach's ambition for the rematch extends beyond simply winning. He's aiming for a knockout. His relentless training underscores his determination to make a bold statement. A decisive victory over Davis could redefine his career, elevating him to the sport's top tier and establishing a lasting legacy grounded in both his skill and unwavering drive.
You sent him to retirement earlier.
My initial plan is to win, but every time I fight, I'm trying to knock somebody out. So if that happens in the midst of it, that'd be a blessing. That'd be definitely something that I work for, because I work my ass off. But if he on his way out, why not kick his ass out? It does in a sense, but yeah, it do for sure. I ain't gonna lie. I like to prove people wrong, and I damn sure like to prove myself right. So it definitely gives me an incentive. And like I said before, I've been here before. A heck of a fight, they had me duck. Right now, they really got me. They really got me.
Roach has openly expressed confidence in his preparation, stating he possesses the full skill set needed for the fight. His tone reflects not arrogance, but assurance rooted in hard work and dedication. He firmly believes he's ready to adapt to whatever challenges Gervonta Davis presents inside.
30 people knocked out with 28 of them, right? What makes you different?
But it's the skill, the will. I got the whole package. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not sitting there waiting to get hit. Especially somebody that's with power punching. That's evident. I got too much.
Greg Hackett emphasized that the stakes are equally high for both fighters, with no clear advantage on either side. He stressed that the outcome will hinge on absolute precision. For Davis especially, Hackett warned that maintaining focus and discipline throughout the fight is crucial. There's simply no room for error.
Rumors of what's going on in Tank's camp, and, training with this person, training with that person.
Yeah.
Who has the edge heading into it?
Neither one of them. Lamont, you know what? I'm lying. 55-45 Lamont.
Why?
Lamont got the edge because he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130. And not only did he not get knocked out, he performed, possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think, but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think Lamont do have a slight edge, just because he did what he wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of people go in there and they're very obedient to Tank's power, and Lamont wasn't that. Lamont wasn't happy, and he said he wasn't happy. He said it before. Y'all tripping. Y'all must really like tripping. So I guess we was tripping.
Could we see the most focused Gervonta is after him getting so much backlash for the performance, for the taking a knee, etc.?
This would be the night we have to see the most focused. Because if he's not the most focused, then he's gonna be in trouble. It's just that simple. This is the night you gotta be not on your A game, you gotta be on everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have everything with you. You can't play about it. You gotta mean it. Every step gotta be counted for. And he know that. So I'm looking for this just to be a great fight. Great fight.
Who you think win?
Mikey Garcia shared a thoughtful perspective, recognizing Davis's ability to adapt and grow from past experiences. However, he emphasized that without mental clarity, even the best strategies can fail. Garcia's message was clear. If Davis isn't mentally prepared, he shouldn't step into the ring.
I think Tank wins in the rematch. Why? I think he'll make the right adjustments and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Fuck, he surprised everybody. I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockout should have been a knockout. But whatever, he gets a rematch, you know. And maybe they get a third fight, you know, after that. You know, maybe it turns the markets back out. Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup and they say, well, let's put it back. And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you know, you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I'm not a psychiatrist, but I don't know. Everybody's a little different. What I got to say is, like, if you're dealing with any mental health, it seems to be a very common thing. And if you don't feel that you're 100% dedicated or 100% capable of blocking out, you know, personal life issues or whatever to get in the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're, it seems like a lot of fighters, if you're going through stuff and they get in. If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him, fuck him do it. Let him do it. I don't know.
Kenny Ellis acknowledged Roach's visible work ethic, but warned against overvaluing training footage. He believes a true test emerges when fighters are under intense pressure, enduring hard punches and fatigue. Ellis asserts that Davis's grit and willpower, not rehearsed drills, are the decisive factors of fight.
Another great fucking matchup, and they say, oh, let's put it back. And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you know, you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well his first one. Hopefully he puts on a great fight, even if he were to lose, but in a great fight, shit, he'll get a third fight.
Mikey, what do you make of him saying he wants to go to therapy to fix his like mental health, but not yet because he doesn't want to get fixed yet because he needs that.
In the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're,
it seems like a lot of fighters
if you're
going through stuff and they get it.
If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him fucking do it. Let him do it. I don't know. Dude, I have personal stuff. A lot of fighters have issues. It's life, bro. This is our job, but their life keeps going. Life,
you have to juggle this with life.
You have to juggle. You have to balance. And it's tough, bro. It ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. You gotta be dealing with family, with kids, with wife, with girlfriends.
That I always see in the same story.
A second loss could severely damage Gervonta Davis's career and reputation. While one defeat might be written off as an off night, consecutive failures, especially in a high-stakes rematch, would raise serious questions about his standing among boxing's elite. Fans and analysts alike may begin to doubt whether Davis truly belongs at the top. His pride, image, and future opportunities are all at risk. For Davis, this rematch is more than just a shot at redemption. It's a battle to preserve his legacy, to silence the critics and reaffirm his place in the sport. He must deliver a clear, commanding performance.
Match happening in because I'm ready to see a motherfucker get knocked out again. I'm not here to debate because y'all really go neck and neck for this for the rest of the tournament. Who y'all think really won? Who y'all think should have won? Who y'all think didn't win? This is probably one of the biggest debates that will ever be solved. Well, they put up a good fight, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, but damn near seemed like it was set up for them to have another match. Because exactly what Lamont did to Tank the whole first half, that's what Tank did to Lamont the whole second half, so what the fuck? It literally went neck for neck. I feel like it was a tie in my opinion. It's so hard to even say that though, because you can see so much demolishment from one, and then for it to flip to the other, and it just had your mind like, what? Just really got your mind blown, like what the fuck? I feel like when it came to the decision of the fight, a lot of people were real biased. A lot of people definitely, and off of just a personal opinion of the person, their history of liking the person, not off of the fight itself. I will admit that really going into this fight, the first time, I thought Lamont was going to get his shit knocked off. I thought Tank was going to do him in. Now, though Tank, I'm not going to lie, Lamont had him, stuck with him the whole 12. You know anything about boxing, especially boxing motherfucker like Tank, you know that It's a flex the last 12 rounds just as much as it needs to beat a motherfucker. The fact that Lamont lasted 12 rounds with him was really getting up, I'm not gonna lie, stinging shit, all 12. It showed that this next match gonna really show who the fucking winner was. I do gotta say, Tank probably gonna come ready for him, but the fact that Lamont came ready for him, as ready for him as he did last match, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared for both of them. This should be bigger than the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna lie. They say it's supposed to be happening in the summer, which would be a really good way to kick off the summer. And I know these two got a vengeance out for each other. Regardless of growing up together and fighting together, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The way that fight went down, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like this is gonna be history. Like, I can't wait to watch it.
Hints of secretive adjustments within Davis's camp suggest a dramatically different approach this time around. Though details remain undisclosed, the mystery has only fueled anticipation. Whatever is being refined behind closed doors, Davis's team is confident it will be a game changer, making this rematch one of boxing's most anticipated showdowns.
What do you see?
Both of them, like I said, they both top of the game. I see a competitive fight. Nice, clean, crispy shots like the first fight. I mean, I can't speak on what I've seen, but the fight will be different.
Right, because you could strategize and do different things.
Yeah, it'll be different.
Raleigh Romero defended Gervonta Davis, noting that even boxing legends have off nights. He argued that one poor performance shouldn't define Davis's career. In Romero's view, Davis remains one of the sport's most dangerous fighters and continues to hold his place at the top.
People want to discredit Tank as he's still a pound-for-pound fighter.
What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just an off night?
Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a night hanging here with Cruz. Everyone has a night. It's boxing.
We're gonna run that back with Cruz or what?
Maybe down the line.
Teofimo Lopez observed that following the first fight, Gervonta Davis appeared isolated, with few supporters standing by him during the backlash. This abandonment, Lopez noted, sparked widespread doubt about Davis's place among boxing's elite. Critics were quick to question his abilities, mental toughness, and resilience, portraying him as exposed and vulnerable. Lopez emphasized that the upcoming rematch is far more than just a chance for revenge. It's Davis's moment to rewrite the narrative, restore his reputation, and reclaim his position at the top. With everything on the line, Davis must prove that one bad night doesn't define a true champion's legacy.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you can clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan can clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm gonna talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you winning, they're gonna be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw, look how much hate he got out of it.
Not to get deep, but it's a part of our psychology. We're not. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
Sean Porter praised Gervonta Davis for his skill, intelligence, and sharp boxing IQ, noting that his ability to read opponents and adapt mid-fight sets him apart in the lightweight division. He also highlighted Davis's raw power, which combined with his strategic mind, makes him a uniquely dangerous opponent. Despite recent criticism, Porter believes Davis remains a top-tier talent who deserves respect. He cautioned against underestimating Davis, emphasizing that his past performances have repeatedly displayed brilliance. In Porter's view, Davis's presence in the division is still impactful, and those quick to dismiss him are ignoring just how far from finished he truly is.
And the thing that I really appreciate about Tank is he's a dog. That kind of what he just said, you can put the earmuffs up and go at it. Mm-hmm. He kind of will assess you as well, and whatever he needs to do, he'll do it, so.
Gervonta Davis is fully locked in, training harder than ever to prove he still belongs at the top of the sport. His sessions are intense, blending power, speed, and refined strategy to correct the mistakes from his last fight. Davis isn't just preparing to win. He's aiming to dominate and silence all doubt. He understands that every move he makes now shapes how the world views him. Each round of training reflects his determination to rise above criticism, outshine his opponent, and reassert himself as one of boxing's most dangerous and skilled fighters. Davis is on a mission to reclaim his throne.
Everybody really think Tank will take the L. I've been seeing it. They said it's over. They think that this time Lamont will go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident. Because you will go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos. You will go in there confident, thinking you can walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he gets you on that button, the lights going off. I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you're going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that let's go fold. You're going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's going to get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. Confident, and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore, and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this is Lamont. It's from the same camp. We from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up. Because you got to think, Tank not used to losing.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more updates.